Okay, in this video tutorial, I will show you how to set up and configure the distribution layer of this switch, which is distribution 3A. As you can see here, we have several devices. The first one is a DHCP server, and then routers, and then you have an IP phone here. I will add additional computer here later on. Okay, so let's see what the configuration looks like on distribution 3A. Okay, the first thing that we need to do, we need to set up the VLANs. Okay, here as you can see on the configuration notes, on fast Ethernet 01 through, maybe you can put until 10, we're gonna create a dual VLAN, which is a switch port access VLAN 68, switch port mode access, and switch port voice VLAN 69. So this is called a dual VLAN port. Okay, VLAN 68 is the data VLAN and 69 is the voice VLANs. Okay, so that is the first one. The second thing that we need to do is to configure the fast Ethernet 02. This one is, you can see this, the distribution 3A layer go to the core A. Okay, so this is fast Ethernet 024. The IP address is 172.16.1.22.255.255.255.252 or /30. Okay, after we finish configuring the interface that connect to the core routers, the next thing we need to do is to create two VLAN here: interface VLAN 68 and interface VLAN 69. Okay, as you can see, the IP address of the interface VLAN 68 is IP address 192.168.68.1 and 255.255.255.0. Similarly with the interface VLAN 69. Okay, with the 69.1 IP address. One more thing that I want to add here in this line on VLAN 68 is called IP helper. Let me show you how it works here. The IP helper is here. Let me show you. Enable show run. Notice that on the VLAN 68 I put IP helper 192.168.69.2. that is referred to this DHCP here. As you can see this on the DHCP server. Okay, this is the DHCP is 69.2 network. So when I put an IP helper refer to 69.2, that means if I add additional computers, it will request an IP address from this DHCP server, and we configure two VLAN in this DHCP server. The first one is 69 and the other one is 69 and 68. So coming back to this topology, so once we finish configuring the interface 024, the next thing we configure the VLAN with the IP helper. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is to configure the routing protocol, which is network 172.16.0.0 0.0255.255 area 0. This is called a wildcard mask. So anything that matches with the first two octet is going to be advertised. And then the second one is network 192.168.0.0 0.0255.255 area 0. So this is the routing protocol. So that is the configuration for this one. Okay, for this distribution 3A switches. As I mentioned to you before, we also need to configure the DHCP server. The configuration for the DHCP server is like this. Okay, on the DHCP server, we need to have this IP address. As you can see that the DHCP IP address is 192.168.69.2, and this is the default gateway. okay, 169.1. Also, we need to do the services. As you can see that on the DHCP server, we have two VLAN here. First one is the data VLAN, which is 68.1. We're gonna start with this IP address 68.100 and maximum number of user 50. The next thing, this is for the voice VLAN, okay, which is the server pool 192.168.69.1, starting with 69, and we have maximum is 246 users or telephone. So basically in this DHCP we have two VLANs, the data VLAN and the voice VLAN. Notice that the voice VLAN we have TFTP server. So when this computer boot up, it will request an IP address in the DHCP server, and they knows that this is a Cisco voice API, Cisco telephony services. And this one on the data VLAN, we don't have the TFTP server, and when we boot up this one, it will get an IP address as the data VLAN. Okay, so that is the configuration on the distribution 3A and DHCP server. Let me pause this video here. Okay, now if I do some testing from the DHCP server to the PC, as you can see that if I ping to 192.168.69.2, if I ping to the DHCP server, it gives me a reply address there. Okay, if I ping to the gateway of the 69 network, there we go, it works. Similarly from the DHCP server, if I ping to the PC there on the 68 network, if I enter that, there we go, it gives me an answer. Okay, if I ping the gateway, there we go, it gave me an answer. Alright, the next thing that I'm gonna do is to explain to you how the router works. Okay, now on the routers, which is this one on the CME 3, let me show you the configuration here. Let me see here. Here, CME configuration. Okay, on the CME configuration, the first thing that we need to do is to set up the fast Ethernet. Okay, 0.0, which is IP address 192.168.69.254 and 255.255.255.0. So we need to configure the interface 0/0, which is going to this side. Okay, and then the next thing that we need to do is to set up the default routing, which is IP route 0.0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0 192.168.69.1. That means this is called the default route. If nothing else matches, then it will go to this interface. Okay, this is called the default route. It's going to go to this interface, which is 192.168.69.1. Alright, the next thing that we need to do after we set up the basic network infrastructure, we need to set up the dial peers. Okay, the first thing that we need to find out is this one. Okay, dial peer voice 1 VoIP, destination parent 1000, and then session target is IP version 4 192.168.65.254. that is referred to the interface in this router that I mentioned to you earlier, this one. Okay, what else here? And then we need to set up the telephony services. Okay, the telephony services is maximum ePhone 5, maximum directory number is 5, and also here IP source address is, this is referred to the Cisco Unified Call Manager Express IP with the port number 2000. Okay, and then after we finish that, we need to configure this one. Okay, the ePhone type here. So ephone number 3, well, in this case the ephone is 3, so we need to find the MAC address of that ephone, which is 0005.5E9E to AC5. The type is 7960. This is the Cisco IP phone 7960 series, and we're gonna put button 1 as number 2. Okay, number 2, that means we're gonna use this, the first 2, this 202 extension, 2002. And here for the ephone 4, we're gonna use button 1, number 1. That is referred to this one, 2001. So you have to specify first ephone DN1 with this number, and then ephone DN2 with this number. And then after that, we assign the phone, the ephone, the Cisco IP phone, button 1 to use this number, and button 1 to use that number. Alright, so that is the configuration of the Cisco Call Manager Express. Remember, the IP telephony is embedded on it. So if I test this, let me see if I can do some testing here. If I make a call, as you can see here, right, this one is, I think I pick up the wrong file here. Here we have this 2000. Let me see how come it's not in there. Okay, this is 2002, and this is 2000. This is 2001. Okay, as you can see, if I highlight this one have this one. Let me see here. Okay, this is 2001 and this is 2002. Okay, so let me see if I can do some testing here from 2002. Here 2002. Okay, this is so difficult because I'm using laptop here. Here the other one. Okay, so you have two number. If I make a phone call, 2002, there we go. Okay, it's ringing, right? Now from this to that is 2001. There, it's ringing. Okay, so far I show you the configuration of the so far I show you the configuration of distribution 3A, DHCP server, and Cisco Unified Call Manager Express. Thank you for watching. We hope that this video is informative to you.